All right, folks, we are back here this Tuesday, May 20th. Great to have all of our students and members back inside our live trading room. Gillis, Leda, Lynn, and Randy, Roberto, Scott. Great to have all of us back there. Gotta love when water goes down the wrong pipe right before you press go live. So great to have all of us still back here. Otherwise, on Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, the works. Pardon me, right there. Right down below at Cyber Trading You, just popping up right there. If you're new to our stream, new to our channel, new to our community here, just hit the follow or subscribe button down below. Speaking of down below, looks like the SPY is going down below 590 here in just a bit. So I don't know what happened here in the last 10 or so minutes. What news came out? Was it maybe just a break of support? But I'm just trying to check the Twitter feeds here. I don't really see anything new over the last coming minutes. So maybe a Fed speaker made some subtle comment, led to a little profit taking perhaps. I'll find out more as we keep going through. Listen, it's not a giant drop, and markets really haven't gone anywhere today until this point. So it's like we always say, if it's not going any higher, there's a pretty good chance we will go lower. But maybe there is some catalyst that came out there. At least what we'll do is go across the percent gainers and losers list here in just a moment. But we killed it, and hopefully a few of these trades are still holding up pretty nicely, at least the QBTS, namely to begin. So we had mentioned this back from last week. I don't have the time to go through the archives and show you once again. We had made this comment that out of all the quantum stocks, listen, there's Rigetti, there's QUBT, there's IO&Q, which we did really well on back last year, but there's none better. There hasn't been any better for a long while now than QBTS. Obviously, just looking at this long-term graph, it built higher lows over the last few months, then broke out of resistance here. It just took off like a rocket for us this week. So, just back from yesterday, made a big move, gapped up even more this morning in pre-market. Going over this with a number of students today in our coaching program. Early in the morning, actually, at like $14, that was your first real entry on this, like an actual tangible level that you could try and see a breakout from. Yeah, right here, a little bit after 7 o'clock in the morning. Let me ask our students here really briefly, who here is on like Thinkorswim? Who here is on Fidelity? Who here is on Webull, maybe? The platform. Who here trades off of those platforms? Because you're able to trade early in the morning like this at 7 a.m. Eastern. Listen, this was right for the taking, not just because it moved up. It's because of the setup. This was testing resistance already at 14, false breaker here. And then once it rebroke it, wow, what a run. So the writing was on the wall here from pre-market, did the same damn thing here at $15, and then it did the same damn thing at $16 a little bit later on. So that's where I jumped in from here later on. I didn't take a single day trade until like 10 o'clock in the morning, a little bit after that. So obviously right here, broke out of resistance, jumped in right there, 1604. Got out pretty quick on half my position just to take some money. It was my first day trade of the day. I tried swing trading Webull, but that was just, this thing's a mess. So, that was one swing trade, but really this was my first day trade on the day. Made it worthwhile because once it rebroke 16, much like it did 15, much like it did 14, history repeated. Now, the easy to say thing about this trade, what made this so good is that, yeah, it's breaking all-time highs. So there is no historical ceiling to work with here at this stage. Sometimes they still can kind of dud out and not make as clean of a run as you'd anticipate, but you don't want to be pessimistic here at this point in the morning. It's a little bit after 10 o'clock. There is a thought for a lower high, but unless it shows that to you, still have confidence in the breakout. Reversal time maybe around 10:30, and although it didn't reverse fully, it kind of tapered off at that stage there. So yeah, the QBTS, a bunch of us nailed this trade at least from earlier today. Let me even just get back to the chat board here. So Debbie cleaned up on this just earlier. She had like a bunch of different trades. I think that Greg was just in it before. Chuck got a couple dollars out of it earlier. Kerry was in for about $1 on like three trades that she had. Alex got in and out for a few there. And yeah, otherwise there still could be even more on this heading into this afternoon. A rising tide will lift most boats, and in the sense of a market drop, well, dropping or falling markets, most things are going to go down with it a bit. So I'm hoping that we just bounce from here, and if we do, then that's definitely great news for this QBTS. Listen, I don't mind just putting this on our watch list to begin. I hope that there's trades that haven't moved up as much yet as this has, and that are still near the highs. There's probably better day trades to work with at this stage. but I'd be remiss if I didn't put this at least on our watch list still, right? So we had this, the QBTS. We did well on the other quantums. If you want me to just look at them quickly, hey, a little bounce on Rigetti earlier today, good for about nearly $1. That's good. That's a pretty good day trade. QUBT dropped off early on, but it eventually bottomed out, reversed a little bit, found its legs. The IONQ, I think that might be a stronger swing chart at least, compared to those others, but and bouncing back up, made a big run for us back last year. Maybe if this can come back up and above like 36.50, 36-ish, just more subtle minor level here. But if it could reclaim that as support, I could definitely see the next leg up. But just going back to some of the other trades that we had from today, this is next up at least, the SYTA stock. This also had a great re-break of resistance yesterday in the after hours. I was talking to another trader I just chat with on social media, on Twitter, and I was just telling him, like, listen, this is such an easy move in hindsight. It tested for resistance here. This was an underwhelming push above it. It came back down after the market closed. But on the next test of that level, if you're watching this and you're here for it, what a run, right? Easy to say, but the more times the stock is pinning that resistance and testing it, especially in a smaller compression or time frame, it's more bound to make this breakout. So there we go. That was just in the after hours yesterday. And then this morning, it got a little bit more hairy, a little bit more choppy here, where you expected a faster breakout of resistance. It moved up to make a higher high, but just got very choppy, staticky, hairy. It still built higher lows, still is building higher lows technically. So do I put this on our list? Yeah, I will for now. But hopefully there's stocks that are less, this is the right word. Sorry for the visual here, but hopefully we find a stock a little less hairy, a little less choppy at least here. So we'll go from top to bottom and see what we can grab. Yeah, this looks a little choppy as well. Cheaper stock. The hope is that if it's over $1 here heading into the afternoon, hopefully you can see more traders find out about this stock, know what it's about. Maybe they squeeze it up more. I'm not a big fan of speculation, especially if it's not as close to the HOD here at this point. So I'll pass on it. That's all right. Definitely passing on this NRXS. Right away, because although it popped early in the morning here, it was building lower highs. It snapped down right at the market open. So this was beginning to pull back already and only continued. So yeah, we're done with that there. Is this another quantum stock? Quipt, QUIPT, not quantum, I guess. Home medical company. This is at the highs at least, more flat now than anything, but you got resistance right around this 224, 225 area, 230 maybe above that. But turn this into a daily chart. Let's see what the long term looks like. Long term does not look good. This is not a good looking long term chart. And I don't even know what happened to this thing back last week, even just from yesterday afternoon. Thing took a huge hit, obviously had a big gap up overnight. Take a stab in the dark here, folks. Let's find out what this news could be. Let's see. Benzinga Pro. I have no idea what the news is on this. Your guess is as good as mine, but my guess is they did something to regain above like NASDAQ compliance or something. That's just my shoot from the hip guess. I have no freaking clue. Let's see. Today or from yesterday, last night, I guess they filed a Form 13D. Not going to act as if I know much about this. Well, I guess this is the news that came out. They did some filing. Maybe it is with exchange requirements or something of that nature. But yeah, I mean, big pop overnight. It's more flat now. Needs to break above resistance, roughly around this like 220 area, but even 225. Again, another one I'll put on our list for now. I'm not fully in love. Hopefully there's better trades than this year heading into the afternoon, but let's see. Go back to my scan here. All right, QBTS, and then there's QBTX. This is the ETF that trades little to no volume across the day, and something that we really don't want you to be jumping into at this stage. The QBTS stock is volatile enough. We got our hands full with that already. So edible, up, down. It's like a Christmas tree. Up, down, a little lopsided there at the bottom there, but otherwise, yeah, that trade's done with for today. This is a buyout. Take another screenshot here from my buyout collection. I have all these different buyout pictures here. We're just going to use for class, but we're not going to trade that. EYEN, MRM. Let me even see. Did I even jack this up here? Not in full. All right, let's see if there's anything just a little bit more volume on it. The CEP is at the high of the day. I know Fausto brought that up earlier here, and Bitcoin is back over 106,000. We're looking to break all-time highs pretty soon. So this finally, yeah, this broke out of resistance early in the morning, didn't it? We talked about this yesterday, right? I think we talked about this yesterday. It was kind of just holding there, blasted above that resistance, flipped it rightfully into a support here on the intraday, and really nice move. I'd missed out on that one. I did a nice little swing trade on this like a week or two back. Wanted a lot more at that point, but I realized it wasn't the right time. He had like 3 points a share, but this is the type of move I was looking for. So, listen, it's not too late to jump in long term, but don't just jump in head first. You got to know where your real levels are. So, just going back to this had some pretty easy to see resistance here, a number of bars hitting this area over time. It's tougher to pick out the next one. I would just probably wait until $50 psychological level there, really. All right, so CEP, we're going to put back on our list. This AKRO is looking probably like the best chart that we've had so far. What the hell is this thing about? It's up 26%. It's got a bad order book for the price. That's like halfway expected, but that's still pretty thin. Yeah, this is a crazy thing. What is going on with this stock? AKRO. This is the long-term graph here. This is the monthly chart. Let me see how far I can go back on it. Yeah, that's as far as I can go back. So it's not at all-time highs yet. Still has a ways to go to get up there and even break above this resistance like area. It's not even one price. This isn't even justifying it. But this top pretty much, once it could really smash that and flip that into support. But it's on a great move today. I guess we'll go back to Benzinga, see what we got here. I'm just interested. What was ticker? AKRO. All right. Oh, potential sale. Buy the rumor, sell the news. Yeah, that's it. So this isn't a real buyout. Notice the words that they're using. Rumor, potential. So we talk about that a lot in class, right? When it's speculated, rumored, thought of, not confirmed, there is a little bit more tradability on it. And this did pop at 1 o'clock, so it is pretty recent, still pretty fresh for us here. I'll put it on our list. Again, though, I need to have a much better spread. So if you're someone that doesn't really have an easy time working your limit orders, or if you're someone who doesn't make consistent 500 to 1,000 a day with us, I would not want you to be trading this. I would not want you to be calling it out for other members there. But hey, at least for those that are at a higher level, more advanced, then that definitely is a good opportunity. For those that aren't as advanced yet, listen, there's easier money to take. We don't need to try and catch the toughest fish out there in the ocean to have a happy stomach at the end of the day. But just to say here, SANA has a much better spread. It's moving up as well. I'm going to put this near the top, at the top. Goes over the QBTS trade there. I'll put this on our list. VGZ, a little lackluster at least. Boyle, we've been talking about more the cold trade, the natural gas ETF. That was going up from the end of last week into this week. So I guess with this dropping down, you get the inverse of it, moving up pretty nicely today. Just to mention, WRBY, the order book is bad. I'm going to pass on that. ASST, if it was closer to the highs, I'd be interested, but pass. All right, just go down to the rest of the gainer side here, folks. Just skimming through if there's anything looking as good, if not better than what we've caught so far. I wasted my time on this stock earlier today. I had a great bounce right off of 329, 330. Called that out earlier. Moved up pretty nicely, but it failed to break a higher high. And it comes down. It's not a fast-moving stock, so you have a little hopium in you that it can pop higher. And the longer it just takes to get the job done, you're just wasting your time. So that's what I did a little bit earlier today. Made a little money on it, but not nearly as much as I was expecting. Woof, not barking. I'm talking about the stock. So Woof here, I think this is Petco. Yeah, Petco Health and Wellness. A little push, some volume coming in like right now as we're talking, like legit on the minute at 2:45 p.m. Eastern time. I'll come back to this. It seemed like a little lackluster, but it's tradable. It's absolutely tradable. I'll come back to it if there's anything looking not as good. Ponies all over the place. That's a roller coaster. Peloton, not much. And pretty much we're below 5%. So you know what? I'll tell you what here briefly. I will add Wolf. I will add this to our watch list. It's at the highs. You have this giant spike of volume coming in. So this might even be a potential swing trade candidate over time. Pull this out as much. But yeah, Wolf going up even more now. Perhaps this could be the beginning of a better short squeeze or, stronger long-term move on it. All right, we'll hop over to the loser side here, seeing if there's anything just, as good, if not better. PTX, knew this would happen. Not much more we need to say than that. Let's see, any shorts here on this loser side? Anything looking good at the lows? WOLF at the lows. It's hard to borrow for me, but maybe if you're able to short it, I mean, it's tradable, but this might almost be too slow for our blood here heading into the afternoon. I might want something with a little bit more spark or life to it. Okay, low dipped a little bit today. I don't know if news came out, but you know what? I'm going to put this on our list, but not even as much for the thought of a short. Like, yeah, it could break lower, and that could be a good day trade for a short. But this could be a good dip opportunity for a swing trade thought. Or if it does keep going lower, then I'd say your gap here to get filled and then the bounce. But yeah, this could be a nice bounce level here over time if this wants to keep dropping. But for as much as it did move up, you are looking for support to build on the long term. So when you see a down day like this, it at least invigorates the thought of like maybe there could be a bounce over time. But yeah, it looks like this is trying to pull down towards 37 here first. Focus on that line as support. Put it on our list, just worth watching, both on the day trade side and the swing trade side there. That's pretty much it. All right, folks. Hey, you let me know. Michael, Kathleen, Barbara, Roseanne, Steve, Michael, Debbie, all of us here in the trading room. Let me know if there's anything else that I missed that looks good from your side. And then otherwise, if you're on social media here, let me know as well. Great to have you here. Shout out here to Creative Route joining us on YouTube today. Right, popping up above my ugly face there. That's probably for the better. No, but great to have you here, and all of us just joining us on social media. At least if you're new to our streams, new to our channel here, just go right down below, hit the follow or subscribe button right there at Cyber Trading U. We stream live each and every day, all throughout the week. We actually have a huge multi-speaker event expo coming up tomorrow and Thursday. So actually, if you don't mind, give me a quick moment here because I'll show you. Got a whole laundry list of presenters, but great educators throughout the industry. Wiz Buckley, Jeff Gibby, Melissa Arno. Let me show you right here. This is live on YouTube. You got to register as well here for it and get the recording on top. But you have a whole list of presenters here. You got Jay Trader, Rick Sadler, of course, the man himself. We're hosting Fausto Pugliese right there. So join us tomorrow. This is tomorrow and Thursday. Of course, our students, you know that. I'm not even saying this to you as much because we've annoyed you enough already with this. But if you're new on social media here, we have a whole list of presenters coming up tomorrow as well as Friday. Look forward to having you at least. Now, otherwise, though, if you wanted to join us inside our live trading room to get the full commentary, we're streaming all throughout the day there and providing text call outs, audio call outs, etc. Go right down to the link scrolling below, right below me there, c2.co/trial. That will take you to our live trading room. And then, hey, we'll be heading into the afternoon with this nice watch list that we have here. So again, if there's anything that looks good, let me know, folks. Last call, but we built up a decent enough list. I wasn't in love with like too many of them. They're tradable. They're worth watching, but I wanted something with a little bit better liquidity. Wolf there, maybe, like we said, that's on our list for now. What's this one? Bon. BON. That's the last one we'll check out before we call it a wrap. Yeah, when I'm getting stocks looking like this, that's my signal. That's my cue. All right, folks. So, hey, Rich will take you into the close here. Going a little apartment shopping here this afternoon, checking out a couple of different apartment buildings, complexes, etc. I like where I'm at right now, but you always got to improve in life. So we got to move on to bigger and better, bigger home office and all that jazz. So, hey, best of luck trading heading into the close. We'll be back right in just a little bit here inside